Di Giannantonio's relentless pursuit ends in Marquez's masterclass at Hungarian sprint race. The Hungarian sprint race of MotoGP 2025 delivered not only raw speed but also a gripping story of resilience, determination, and undeniable brilliance. While Marc Marquez eventually emerged victorious, the spotlight moment of the race came when Fabio Di Giannantonio, the young Italian rider, launched a spirited pursuit that had the crowd on edge from start to finish. From the very first lap, Di Giannantonio's intentions were clear. He was not there simply to follow the pack, he wanted to challenge greatness itself. With sharp focus and relentless energy, the Italian rider tucked behind Marquez's rear wheel, refusing to let the 8-time world champion slip away easily. Every time Marquez accelerated out of a corner, Fabio matched him. Every time Marquez braked deep into a turn, Fabio pushed just a little harder. It was a duel of grit and skill, young ambition colliding with veteran mastery. But the closer Fabio came, the more he realized just how difficult the challenge was. Marquez, known for his unmatched ability to read a race like a chessboard, seemed to anticipate every move. Each time Di Giannantonio tried to set up an overtake, Marquez closed the door, cutting off the smallest window of opportunity. It was as if the Spaniard could sense the attack before it even began. The tension grew with each lap. Fans in the grandstands leaned forward, their eyes locked on the battle unfolding in front of them. At one point, Di Giannantonio nearly pulled alongside down the straight, the roar of Ducati engines echoing through Balaton Park. But Marquez responded instantly, braking impossibly late and reclaiming the line with razor-sharp precision. The move drew gasps from the audience, a reminder of why Marquez's racing instincts remain unmatched in the sport. Behind them, Franco Morbidelli rode with measured consistency, holding firm in third place. While he never truly entered the fight for the lead, his steady rhythm ensured he secured the final step of the podium. His performance was a testament to resilience, a rider who understood his limits yet maximized every ounce of potential to secure valuable points. The emotional core of the race, however, remained the duel between Marquez and Di Giannantonio. For Fabio, it was a statement of intent. He may not have conquered Marquez this time, but his relentless chase proved that he belongs at the very front of MotoGP's most competitive field in years. His courage, his willingness to push his limits lap after lap, painted the picture of a rising star unafraid of battling legends. For Marquez, it was another chapter in a career defined by moments of supreme control. While many riders cracked under the pressure of Balaton Park's demanding corners and unpredictable grip, Marquez thrived. His defense against Di Giannantonio was not reckless aggression, but calculated brilliance. He showed the world that experience, composure, and race intelligence remain his greatest weapons. As the checkered flag waved, Marquez crossed the line first, Di Giannantonio just behind, and Morbidelli securing third. The podium reflected not only results, but stories of a champion reaffirming his dominance, of a challenger proving he is ready for more, and of a veteran quietly reminding everyone of his steady hand. The Hungarian sprint race will be remembered not just as a victory for Marquez, but as a symbol of MotoGP's thrilling unpredictability. It showcased how new talents are ready to rise, how legends still defend their thrones with pride, and how every lap can tell a story of courage, skill, and unshakable determination. Casey Stoner, Marc Marquez is a big problem for everyone, including Bagnaia. Former MotoGP world champion Casey Stoner has raised a strong statement about the current state of the championship, pointing directly at Marc Marquez as the biggest challenge every rider must face this season. Stoner believes that Marquez has reached a level of performance on the Ducati that no other rider has been able to match, not even Francesco Bagnaia, the reigning two-time world champion. Speaking to Sky Italia on Monday, Stoner emphasized that Marquez's presence has reshaped the dynamics of MotoGP. "I think at the moment Marc is creating the same problem for everyone in the paddock. It's not just about Pecco," Stoner said. "He has found a way to unlock the potential of the Ducati in a manner nobody else can replicate." For Stoner, Marquez's dominance is not merely an obstacle, it can also be an opportunity. He highlighted that being in the same garage as a rider of Marquez's caliber might push Bagnaia beyond his limits and help him grow as a competitor. "This could also be an advantage for Pecco," Stoner continued. "You always learn the most in your toughest moments. If he can absorb as much as possible this year, it may prove useful in the future." The numbers back up Stoner's claims. Marquez has been unstoppable in 2025, securing 9 victories out of the 13 main races so far, while also winning every single sprint race in the last 12 weekends. With a massive 142-point lead at the top of the standings, his grip on the championship looks unshakable. What makes the situation even more striking is that Marquez's closest challenger is not Bagnaia, but his younger brother, Alex Marquez. Riding for Gresini Racing with the Ducati GP24, Alex has emerged as the only consistent rival, still trailing far behind but ahead of Bagnaia in the standings. Bagnaia himself is 55 points adrift of Alex and has managed only a single win this season at the Circuit of the Americas Coda, a victory that came after Marc crashed while leading. For Bagnaia, who entered the 2025 season as the defending double world champion, expectations were sky high. Yet, the campaign has been a struggle. His early speed has faded, and after the summer break his results have dipped further. At the Red Bull Ring in Austria, a circuit where he once reigned supreme with 3 consecutive victories, he could only manage an 8th-place finish, despite briefly holding 2nd place. Stoner insists that Bagnaia's talent should not be underestimated, but acknowledges the psychological weight of having Marquez in the same garage. The Spaniard's relentless pace and fearless style put constant pressure on Bagnaia, who now finds himself in unfamiliar territory, no longer Ducati's dominant figure. Pecco's performance is not entirely bad, Stoner explained. But when you have someone like Marc beside you, everything feels more complicated. It changes the atmosphere inside the team, and that pressure can eat away at your confidence. Still, Stoner remains optimistic that Bagnaia can recover. The Australian legend, who himself faced immense pressure during his career, believes resilience is the key. As long as you keep trying, as long as you don't give up, you will gain something, Stoner said with conviction. It may not come immediately, but those experiences build you. If Pecco keeps fighting, he can return stronger. For now, Marquez's dominance overshadows everyone else on the grid, and the question remains, will anyone be able to stop him this season? For Bagnaia, the answer may lie not in beating Marquez right away, but in enduring the storm, learning from it, and preparing for the battles yet to come. Casey Stoner reveals the real reason Ducati signed Marc Marquez, a master plan beyond 2025. Marc Marquez's move to the Ducati factory team for the 2025 MotoGP season was a bombshell in the racing world. Many thought it was simply a short-term power play, a strategy to secure another championship. But MotoGP legend and former Ducati world champion Casey Stoner sees it from a much deeper perspective. According to Stoner, Ducati's decision wasn't just about chasing glory in 2025. It was a calculated move aimed at navigating a critical transition period in MotoGP history. Starting in 2027, the championship will undergo a major regulation change, shifting to 850 cubic centimeters engines. And with the current Desmosedici GP25 already reaching its development limit, Ducati needed more than just engineering. They needed a rider capable of doing the extraordinary. They've already taken this bike as far as it can go, Stoner said in an interview. With the upcoming freeze on engine development and the transition to 850 cubic centimeters, Ducati had to plan ahead. And the best way to buy time while still dominating is to sign Marc Marquez. Stoner praised Gigi Dall'Igna, Ducati's general manager, for making what he called a visionary decision. Bringing in Marquez, with all his experience, speed, and resilience, was not just about this year. It was a way to keep Ducati at the top while preparing in silence for a whole new MotoGP era. The data backs it up. From the first 12 rounds of the 2025 season, Marquez has won 11 sprint races and 9 main races, a jaw-dropping display of consistency and control. Even in difficult conditions like at Le Mans or in changing weather scenarios, Marquez remained a step ahead. Meanwhile, his teammate Francesco Bagnaia, the 2022 and 2023 world champion, has struggled. His only podium came at Coda, a race where Marc crashed out. Stoner pointed out that this shows more than just the quality of the bike, it shows the exceptional talent of Marquez. Even with the same machinery, no other Ducati rider is delivering at his level. What's more, other manufacturers like KTM and Aprilia are closing the gap. They've become regular podium contenders, and Ducati can no longer rely solely on technical superiority. That's why, Stoner believes, Ducati's current project with the GP25 is reaching its natural end. Last year, satellite Ducati riders were regularly in the top 5. This season, that's no longer the case, said Stoner. Marc is the only one keeping Ducati's winning momentum alive. The plan now is clear: use Marquez's brilliance to extend Ducati's dominance, even as the technical advantages start to fade. This allows the factory to focus its energy on the development of the 850 cubic centimeters prototype behind the scenes without losing championships in the process. It's not just about 2025. Ducati is thinking 2 steps ahead. And with Marquez, they've made sure they have the perfect rider to carry them through this transition, Stoner concluded. He ended his remarks with a smile, saying, "If everything goes according to plan, Ducati will not only win now but will be ready for what comes next." That's the genius of this move. Aprilia on the rise. Rivola sends stern warning to Ducati after Bezzecchi's podium streak. The MotoGP 2025 paddock is starting to feel a shift not just in lap times, but in power. Aprilia Racing, a team that once lurked quietly behind the headlines, is now stepping boldly into the spotlight. With 2 podiums in the last 3 races thanks to a resurgent Marco Bezzecchi, Aprilia has fired its warning shot, and it's aimed directly at Marc Marquez and Ducati. For a team that started the season trailing behind the dominant forces, Aprilia's comeback feels like a brewing storm. The pieces are coming together. Bezzecchi, Ai Ogura, Raul Fernandez, and Lorenzo Savadori have shown impressive consistency and cohesion. Now, with Jorge Martin returning from a long injury layoff, Aprilia has added yet another sharp blade to its growing arsenal. In both the Dutch Grand Prix and the Czech GP, Bezzecchi fought his way onto the podium not out of luck, but through raw pace and intelligent riding. This newfound competitiveness can largely be credited to the technical evolution of the Ars GP, Aprilia's race machine that has undergone extensive development. The changes we've made were always aimed at fighting for the championship, said Aprilia Racing CEO Massimo Rivola. So no, we're not yet where we want to be, but we are getting there. And Rivola isn't just talking about long-term plans. He is speaking directly to Ducati, and more specifically, to Marc Marquez, whose dominance this season has been nearly unchallenged. If we have to fight Marquez on a Ducati that looks almost unbeatable right now, I believe we can. We're not far behind, especially on certain tracks, Rivola declared with confidence. One of those tracks, Red Bull Ring, in Spielberg, Austria, the next round on the calendar. Austria isn't necessarily our strongest circuit, Rivola admitted, but seeing how Bezzecchi adapts to the Ars GP and adjusts to different layouts, I can only feel optimistic. Indeed, it's no longer just about development for Aprilia. It's about momentum. It's about belief. And perhaps more importantly, it's about timing. With the Ars GP becoming more responsive, more stable, and significantly faster through corners, Aprilia knows that their window of opportunity is opening fast. Rivola believes that by September, the full potential of the Ars GP will be unleashed. But with confidence building and podiums already arriving, September might come sooner than expected, especially if Bezzecchi continues his form and Martin returns to his peak. As MotoGP Austria 2025 approaches August 15th to 17th, all eyes will be on whether Aprilia can back up Rivola's bold statement with results. Can they rattle Ducati on one of the fastest tracks in the world? Can Bezzecchi break through Marquez's iron grip on victory? What is certain is this: Aprilia is no longer the quiet team in the shadows. They're pushing forward, ready to disrupt, and hungry for more than just podiums. Marc Marquez cleared of tire pressure violation, clinches sprint race victory in Czech MotoGP 2025. Brno, Czech Republic. The world of MotoGP held its breath during the sprint race at the Czech Grand Prix 2025, as an unexpected investigation loomed over the electrifying performance of Marc Marquez. Yet in the end, it was confirmed, the baby alien is the rightful winner, and his masterful strategy remains a talking point in paddocks around the world. The 10-lap sprint race at the legendary Brno circuit, held on Saturday night, had everything: intensity, suspense, and a twist that only a seasoned rider like Marquez could pull off. Starting from the second grid, Marc Marquez wasted no time. He immediately challenged for the lead and eventually took control of the race. Right behind him was his Ducati teammate, Francesco Bagnaia, as the two factory Ducati riders dominated the early stages. But drama struck on lap 5. Both Marquez and Bagnaia were seen suddenly slowing down, with their pace noticeably dropping. This unexpected move opened the door for KTM's rising star Pedro Acosta, who took full advantage and grabbed the lead from Marquez. Viewers and commentators alike were left puzzled. Was there a mechanical issue, a team strategy, or worse, a violation? Speculation quickly spread across the paddock. Were the Ducati riders breaching tire pressure regulations? Post-race, MotoGP stewards launched an immediate investigation into the incident. Given the strict rules surrounding tire pressure introduced in recent seasons, any deviation could lead to a penalty, or worse, disqualification. However, hours later, the results were in. Marc Marquez was cleared of any wrongdoing. No penalty was applied. His victory stood. Ducati S93 had legally and strategically conquered Brno, in yet another display of experience meeting intelligence. In the aftermath, Marquez himself explained the situation calmly and with full transparency. His words only reinforced what fans have long known: Marc doesn't just ride fast, he races smart. It's true, There's a pressure limit, Marquez said. I saw that my tire pressure wasn't where it needed to be. I tried pushing lap after lap, but it was hard to maintain the right pressure. So, I decided to wait. According to the 8-time world champion, slowing down wasn't a sign of weakness, it was a deliberate move. Riding just behind Acosta allowed him to build tire temperature without pushing his own limits too far. It was very close with Acosta, and I used that proximity to increase the tire temperature. Then, once I saw that everything was within the legal range, I went full throttle until the last lap, Marquez explained. What seemed like a setback to many was actually a high-level strategic decision, executed with the poise and confidence that only a champion like Marquez could muster. He took a risk by slowing down, allowed Acosta to lead temporarily, and then launched a decisive attack in the final stages of the race to reclaim first place. Behind him, Pedro Acosta finished second, visibly frustrated, perhaps feeling used in Marquez's strategy. Enea Bastianini completed the podium in third for KTM Tech 3. For Marc, the celebration was subtle but significant. He knew what he had done. He had walked a tightrope, played with pressure literally, and came out victorious. This race wasn't just about speed. It was about timing, intelligence, and deep understanding of the machine beneath him. In a sport where milliseconds matter and tire data can make or break a race, Marc Marquez once again proved why he remains one of the greatest riders in the modern era. His win in Brno was more than just another trophy, it was a statement that even in the face of doubt and investigation, true champions rise not only with speed, but with wisdom.